That update on rapper Tory Lanez. He was taken to a hospital this morning after being attacked by another inmate at the state prison in Tehachapi. Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, serving a 10-year sentence for shooting hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion in Hollywood Hills in 2020. Officials today did not give any specifics about what may have motivated the attack or his condition.
Unite the people that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun.
The absolute biggest thing that human beings have a hard time understanding and accepting is that there's a different perspective. Let's leave the matrix into the real world. Let's talk about the Tory Lanez situation, about how new evidence came out. The bodyguard of, I think, Kelsey came out and just, he couldn't hold it any longer, and he just spilled the beans that Tory Lanez was not the one who pulled the trigger. It was all up, everything was pretty much a lie. And there is even a lot of people who said that Tory Lanez actually saved Megan Thee Stallion from being probably hit worse than what she actually got hit. And we also see from the beginning of my video how this all came after Tory Lanez was viciously assaulted in California prison at Tehachapi. And it's a sad situation, because if he never was in that situation, then he wouldn't have got hurt that bad, and through collapsed lungs and critical condition. Even though they say he is recovering, and I think they took him back to the facility. But in this video, I wanna speak my opinion, and my opinion is that Tory did exactly what he was supposed to do, because it's easy for us to say, as civilians on the sideline, we don't have a big time rap career that we put everything in. We don't have the status that he have, the work that he's put in to be where he's at. To say that, he should have just spilled the beans in the beginning and told everything what happened. Because on my Facebook and on other platforms, I have posted that I believe that, I know that, and we all know from evidence, that a snitch jacket, a snitching incident on your jacket, an incident of you cooperating with law enforcement is the end of your rap career. So he had to deal with his rap career being over if he just told the truth. And on top of that, I hear that there was a gag order, or basically saying that he can't speak about the trial. But I don't know how true that is, but I know for a fact that a snitch on your jacket, you being a snitch, evidence of you telling, paperwork that you're cooperating with law enforcement, that pretty much, in 2025, that pretty much ends your rap career. So, and I feel like he did what the only thing he could do in that situation. A lot of people are always talking about what they would do. I don't care. I would have told. The narrative, especially amongst the black community, is he stuck by that stupid snitch code. Why did he stick by that stupid snitch code that is just just tearing down the black community? And he had something very valuable that could have been compromised behind that code. So in my eyes, you gotta look at it from all angles. You have to put your feet into his shoes, and he would have had to say, okay, I want to stop I want to prevent myself from going to prison, even though I take that back. There's evidence that he would have went to prison anyway because he was around a weapon and he's a convicted felon. So that's the reason why I say that he did what he was supposed to do, because if you're going anyway, you prevent a friend of yours from going down, and you also protect your rap career. You see what I'm saying? So that in itself says that he did everything that he was supposed to do. Now this is the issue, and shout out to Pink Book Lessons and everybody else who, Anton Daniels, everybody else who just got behind Tory Lanez and pretty much was saying from the beginning, like myself, that they felt that he was innocent because the case didn't make sense. And Tory Lanez depended on due process. He depended on all the evidence, and the evidence in the case pointed toward him being innocent. But for contrary to popular opinion, there's a lot of people who feel like the evidence. There's people with delusional thoughts of even the bodyguard who came out with the new information. They're saying he's lying. Like, so, but what does he have to lose? So, and on top of that we're hearing about it being a paint gun. There's none of Tory's DNA on the weapon. He didn't have gunpowder on his clothes, on firing a weapon, or around his hand. So a lot of evidence in the case that should have exonerated him, but he went down for everything. He went down for the biggest charge in the case, and that's the crazy part. But the point in my video is that he did what he had to do, because he was preserving something that was valued, which is his rap career. Now, is it a travesty that him speaking up to save his rap career, to save his freedom, would have eliminated his rap career from him speaking up? He probably would have been labeled a snitch. It's a travesty. It shouldn't be that way, but let's deal with reality. It's that's the reality of the situation. And I think it's just crazy. I don't know how people can live with destroying someone else's life. And I don't think, I'm gonna wrap this video up, but I don't think that Megan Thee Stallion, Chelsea, the bodyguard, or anybody involved, the prosecution, with all that corruption, I don't think they thought that he would get injured critically in prison. They didn't think he would get hurt. They thought they could just get away with what they did. But him getting hurt, I know they are. I know they're not feeling real good right now, because they did him an injustice. But free Tory Lanez, and because he's an innocent man. I don't even think he should have got charged for being around a weapon as a convicted felon, because it wasn't his weapon. But the absolute biggest thing that human beings have a hard time understanding and accepting is that there's a different perspective. If you ignore that perspective, it can sneak up on you. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Logical Life Perspectives.